Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jackie and today I am here to do my May 2019 TBR. With May, I have quite an ambitious TBR. What else is new? If you guys have been following my channel for the past 11 and a half months since last June, you would know why my TBRs are very ambitious. I'm in a reading slump and I can't get out of it. Basic rundown, if you guys are new, I've been in a reading since last June. I can't get out of it. I've had months where I thought I was coming out of it, but just didn't work in the end. So I really want to beat it this month, and I think I can. I have a lot of books to talk about. I am doing one readathon called the Lost-a-thon. I'm not going to talk in too much detail about it here, mostly because I'm going to do a wrap up at the end of the month for it. I'm not going to have a separate TBR for it either, because I'm going to just go off of what I have for this month's TBR and use that to fulfill the challenges. So that's that. But without me rambling on any further, let's jump right in and get started. Starting off with the book that I'm currently reading. The book I'm currently reading is called Crown of Feathers. This is by Nikki Paw Preto. This is the Owl Crate exclusive edition. And I started reading this during the Owls readathon last month in April, and I thought I would be able to finish it before the readathon was over. It was a month long, so I had all month to read it. And I literally started this the second to last day of the readathon, so that's probably why I didn't finish it in time. But I have less than 100 pages left in this, so I definitely think I could finish it even today from when I'm filming this. So yeah, let's hope that is the case. This is a YA fantasy novel that involves Phoenix writers in a duel between two sisters, and that's literally all you guys need to know. That's all I went in knowing, so yeah. I'm not loving it, not hating it. We'll have to see what my final thoughts are. The next two books actually go together, and you're going to think to yourself, if you guys have been watching me for a while, and you haven't heard me talk about what's going on with these books, why are you rereading this again, Jackie? You already reread it last year and the year before that. So let me just explain. Those two books are Throne of Glass as well as Empire of Storms by Sarah J. Maas. It's book 1 and 5 in the Throne of Glass series. So basically, if you guys didn't see my announcement, I am participating in a live show discussion of the first book, Throne of Glass, next week on May 11th at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Brittany's Book Find channel. She, along with Miss Sassy Cassie, are hosting a, how many books are there? Eight-month read-along of the entire series, and they're reading one book per month. I was very lucky enough to be able to participate in this first live show discussion. Again, a week from this upcoming Saturday, May 11th. All the details will be linked down below. But yeah, I don't necessarily have to reread Throne of Glass. I do remember basically everything that happens in it, but it will be nice to have some notes or annotations on hand when the live show is going on, so I can discuss it with the girls. But yeah, that is happening. And then Empire of Storms is also a reread for me. I did read this back in 2016 when I first started my channel and when this came out, and I loved it back then. It is my favorite book in the series, and I just need to reread it so I continue on. I haven't read books 6 and 7, so yeah, it's about time I finish the series up. Next, I have a book off my top 10 books to read in 2019 video, which I'll go ahead and link in the cards. That is Unwind by Neil Shusterman. This is the first book in the Unwind dystology. I believe there's 4 books out. Neil Shusterman is an author that I have wanted to read for a long time. He has this series all. He has the Scythe series as well, which I heard is really great. And I just want to read it. It is a dystopian novel about a world where abortion is illegal. And instead of having your child aborted, you, up to the age of 16, can have them unwound, which means their body parts are basically removed from their body and they are donated basically to people who need them, and it takes off from there. Other than that, I don't know a whole lot about it. I just love dystopian books in general. It is my favorite genre, so I have a feeling this is going to be one that I love. The next book I have to talk about is also a reread for me, and that is Zenith, the Andromeda Saga by Sasha Alsberg and Lindsay Cummings. This is the first book in a duology. The second book, Nexus, actually comes out on May 8th. So this is a YA science fiction novel that follows our main character Andromeda, who is a kind of similar character to Selena Sardathian from Throne of Glass, except she's in space, and she is a space pirate, and she has an all-space pirate female crew, and she basically has to team up with her ex on a mission to rescue her ex's commander's daughter who has been kidnapped. And okay, so at the time that I read this, I actually had an ARC copy of it in 2017. This was released in January of last year. I gave it 5 stars. I know, very unpopular opinion. A lot of people who have read this have hated it with a burning passion, and I can understand why. I don't read a lot of science fiction. That is probably why I enjoyed this so much. And I love Throne of Glass, which is probably why I saw the similarities between Selena Sardathian and Andromeda in this first book. I'm going to meet the authors next week on May 8th in Boston when they come on their book tour. So if I could reread this before that happens, that'd be great. This is actually a signed and personalized copy to me, which also has a very special place in my heart. Sasha was one of the first booktubers I watched. I wanted to support her when this book came out. But I want to know if my opinions have changed. I haven't read a lot of sci-fi since then, and the sci-fi I have read hasn't been very good. So, again, I want to see if my opinions have changed. We shall see. The next one is Salem's Lot by Stephen King. This is a classic horror novel, basically. Stephen King is obviously one of the masters of the horror genre. I have read 5 of his books, and I love him as an author. He is a local author to me. He is from Maine. I'm from Massachusetts. So I just am really excited to dive in. This, I believe, follows vampires, and I believe it takes place in Salem, Massachusetts, but I'm probably completely wrong on that. And if I was reading these books in chronological order, this would be the next book I would read. I said that was what I was doing last year. That kind of veered off the track, but I won't talk about that in this video. So I'm excited to pick this up. I've heard really great things about the book as well as the movie, so let's hope I love it. The last 2 books I have to talk about before we pick from my TBR jar for this month are humongous epic fantasies. So the first one of those is Peace and Turmoil by Elliot Brooks. This is a book that I have been buddy reading with my friend Sarah over Sarah's Nightstand for about 3 months now. We kind of took a break from it for a while because we were very busy with school, the both of us. So we kind of have put this on the back burner, but we're both hoping to get back to it this month. This is a adult epic fantasy that is, how I compare it, is like Avatar: The Last Airbender meets Game of Thrones. It follows 4 kingdoms who are at peace with each other. Basically, 30 years prior to this book taking place, there was a massive war, and they signed a treaty to keep the peace between the 4 kingdoms, and then stuff starts to happen, like underground, and the peace might crumble. So that is what this book is all about. I have decided to, I've done this with the next book I'm going to talk about as well, tab this up into 2 chapter sections. So I'll read 2 chapters per day, and I will keep you guys posted in my reading vlogs. But when I was reading this, I got to page 66, I want to say. I was really loving what I was reading, so I'm excited to pick this back up. Another epic fantasy I have to talk about is also the chapter by chapter book club book of the month for the month of May, and that is Priory of the Orange Tree by Samantha Shannon. This chunker is almost 900 pages long, so it's one of the biggest books that I own, and I have heard raving reviews about this since it was released at the end of March. It is another, I think this is actually classified as YA epic fantasy. It is a standalone, not the first book in the series. It's only going to be 1 book. And it follows 4 queendoms who, I believe, some event like occurred in the past that like tore the kingdoms apart from one another, and that's all I know. There's also a female romance in there. I know it has dragons. And yeah, that's all I know. I also did the same thing as I did with Peace of Turmoil and tabbed this up into 2 chapter sections. So again, I will be trying to read 2 chapters per day, maybe more if I'm available to have the time. So yeah, that is that chapter by chapter, link down below to the Goodreads group. Alright, and now before we end the TBR, we have to pick from my TBR jar this month. Since I didn't do a TBR jar pick last month because of all the readathons that I did, I'm going to pick 2 books this month. And I'm kind of hoping for something light, maybe a contemporary or magical realism to balance out all the fantasy and sci-fi that I have in my TBR. So let's go ahead and pick our first choice. Tricking this up, and let's go ahead and pick one. Alright, so the first one of this is this little slip of paper right here. And the book that I have picked, ooh, this should be interesting. The first book I picked from my TBR jar is The Casual Vacancy by J.K. Rowling. J.K. Rowling obviously wrote the Harry Potter series. I think everybody knows that at this point. And this is also my top 10 of books to read in 2019. So if I could knock out two birds with one stone this month, as far as that list, that'd be great. This is an adult mystery thriller that I literally know nothing about. So yeah, going in blind. I love J.K. Rowling. Harry Potter is my favorite series of all time. I don't need to explain myself. I'm excited to pick this one up. And the second choice I have from my TBR jar this month will be, let us see. Okay, I think I can do that. So my second TBR jar pick for May is The Wicked King by Holly Black. This is the sequel to The Cruel Prince. This is the Barnes & Noble exclusive edition with this beautiful black cover. Now, I did read The Cruel Prince. I read this, The Cruel Prince last January. I enjoyed it. I didn't love it. I didn't hate it. But I definitely did want to continue on with the series. So this is the second book. However, if I'm going to read this, I have to reread the first book. So to make this fair, in case I don't get to The Cruel Prince this month, I'm going to go ahead and pick a third book out. So let's do that. And our third choice is, and this is just a backup in case, again, if I don't get to The Cruel Prince, will be... Okay, I can do that, definitely. And our third choice for the TBR jar is Star Wars: The Princess, the Scoundrel, and the Farm Boy by Alexandra Bracken. This, I think, might be the novelization of A New Hope. I'm probably completely wrong on that. I am a huge Star Wars fan. I love me some Star Wars, and I have seen the movies more times than I think I can count. So I'm excited to read this very, very short Star Wars related book. And Alexandra Bracken, I have read before. I really liked her Prosper Writing book, the first one I read. And yeah, I'm excited to pick this up, and I will love to get some Star Wars in my life. That's everything I'm gonna have for this video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, be sure to give a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. I post new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Be sure to let me know in the comments down below what you guys plan on reading this month, as I would love to know. And as always, all my social media links along with the details for the Throne of Glass live show will be linked down below for you guys to go check out if you'd like to check those out for yourselves. And with being said, I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your day, and I will see you soon for another video. Thanks for watching today. Bye!